Many artists, animators, and storymen brought Mickey Mouse to life over the years, but only one had the distinction of being named Mickey's official portrait artist. I remember first seeing John Hench's beautiful portrait of Mickey in his office when I was quite young and reading Walt Disney's magazine. It was a uniquely appealing picture based on the idea that Mickey was real and had the same kind of memorabilia-filled office as his creator. I had the opportunity to discuss Mickey with John Hench about a year before he passed away. He was still driving himself to work at Walt Disney Imagineering every day at the age of 94. John, one of the most indelible images in my mind of growing up was getting a copy of Walt Disney's magazine and seeing your formal portrait of Mickey Mouse on his 25th birthday in his library or study. And you've done 3 portraits since then, I guess, for Mickey's 50th, 60th, and 70th birthdays. So you know Mickey pretty well, don't you?
Well, yes, of course, we all knew Mickey pretty well. He was like a living president. We knew how he would respond to most things, like you do when you have a friend that you've known for years and know all too well. We knew Mickey that way. This was Walt's alter ego. Walt acted like Mickey often in story sessions, and he'd make the dialogue, and he was, in his heart, you know, he was Mickey.
Why, Pluto, you've been dreaming again.
When you dealt with Mickey in your portraits, not in the films, you dealt with him as a kind of a dimensional character,
Yes.
and you put him in a real world. He started off as a very flat character in
Yes.
films, and then developed. And some people have said that it was kind of strange to see him become real because his design is so unlike anything in real life.
Well, he was always a form as far as I was concerned. I never felt him as a flat person. I think part of his attraction and part of the things that people recognize about him is these round forms are usually associated with something friendly or something that is not a threat to anybody. And the fact that the body is balanced by system of curves, and balance, of course, is another thing we're conscious of, that a balanced thing is dependable and is straight up, and one leaning at an angle is in danger. And besides that, round things are usually lively, and stiff, angular things are not. So it gives him a kind of a conviction of being alive.
And he registers or communicates a kind of happiness, a kind of pure.
And he does it through, not intellectually they don't recognize him, but it's a feeling that people have for it. A feeling that this is a guy they know something about. The little guy who every time he gets in a jam, he works it out. Mm-hmm. And he has unquenchable optimism on anything, no matter what happens.
Mickey's facial design changed a lot, especially during the first decade. He was more angular in the early Iwerks drawn cartoons. Then he got a little rounder and the face got a little softer. And there was a point where there was just that sort of continuous white mask on his face.
Yes.
No delineation of eyeballs or pupils. And then that evolved yet again. Did you have a favorite design, or is there one that you were partial to?
Well, I think one of the most charming one was the one that Freddie Moore developed. And he was not quite 2.5 heads tall, and so he was a little bit small, but he's a very engaging concept of Mickey. Mickey has changed in several ways. It depends on what the thing is about, and what the story is about, and what the situation is, because when people draw him in that way, they lean to the situation a little bit. But he's always able to be identified. There's no question about who he is. I never felt him as a flat person. You know, he was like somebody you knew real well.
And you helped that along. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Very much.